morning, everyone. It's a pleasure to be here. I'm Anuja Shah. I head strategic transformation for Zurich here in the Middle East, and I'm here to talk to you about intelligent finance and the journey that organizations go through from innovation to business value, particularly focused on AI. Zurich Insurance Group started way back in the year 1872. We are in the business of risk assessment, risk mitigation, and risk management. And in a changing world, perspective is everything. This is the front page of Zurich's annual report 2025. And the question that we've asked is, what do you see? Do you see a drone or emerging technologies as a threat or as a means for good? We are in the business of turning uncertainty into insight and insight into action. We believe that the future is uncertain, and we would have to employ technological tools like artificial intelligence to be able to discern insights from that uncertainty and to be able to provide actions to our customers to be able to better their outcomes. Technology definitely can be used as a force for good, and we've deployed multiple use cases across the Zurich Group on artificial intelligence. On a worldwide basis, Gartner estimates the AI spending will total almost $2.5 trillion in 2026. And some of the hyperscalers like Amazon, Alphabet, Microsoft, Meta, Oracle have announced spends to the tune of $700 to $900 billion. And a large chunk of this spend is towards AI infrastructure related spends towards data centers, the power and the cooling systems, GPU clusters, and so on. Now, globally, the rate of investment into AI has traditionally been much more than the returns which people have seen in the space of artificial intelligence. So what that means for organizations like ours is we need to identify the right use cases and ensure we see the right business outcomes and definitely the right outcomes from the perspective of our customers, regulators, partners, and most importantly, our own people. What you see next is a snapshot from McKinsey's State of AI, the Global Survey 2025 report. Respondents were asked in terms of how they felt AI has affected organizational measures over the past year. People who have been using AI would want to believe that it is an improvement in the metric of innovation. So you can definitely see a very healthy increase in terms of the number of people who believe AI is a catalyst for innovation, employee satisfaction, customer satisfaction, no surprises there, because agentic AI and GenAI have largely been used as tools for engagement, both on the employee and on the customer levels. But what is an interesting trend is the cost component, where some people do believe that the returns on their AI investments have not been fast enough, and some actually believe it has worsened their position. Which brings us back to the idea of identifying the right use cases and ensuring limited resource goes towards those use cases, having measurable outcomes, and monitoring benefit realization. We are very fortunate to have been part of the UAE, where the National Strategy for Artificial Intelligence was announced way back in October 2017. And the vision was to become one of the leading nations in AI by 2031. The leadership has backed this with regulatory changes, governance changes, and it has created an entire ecosystem in terms of generating AI-related economic activity. Now, this activity is expected to surpass $96 billion into the UAE economy by 2031. The size of the digital economy is expected to almost double, and the non-oil related GDP growth is expected to be a major contributor by the digital economy by 2031. What we've also seen on the startup space is close to 21% of startups are related to AI, Gen AI, agentic AI, And that is much more than the number of startups that we've seen in software as a service platforms, health tech startups, or the traditional fintechs. So you can also see the results of this strategy translating into measurable outcomes. What we see next is Microsoft's Global AI Diffusion, the Q1 2026 Trends and Insights report. The UA is leading with a 70.1% AI adoption rate. It is the highest globally. The global average stands at 17.8%. This already is a 1.5% improvement compared to the last quarter in terms of a global average. UA is the first country to have surpassed that 70% mark, and only 26 countries globally have crossed the 30% mark. So it is very heartening to see that people have adopted at least one AI tool in the UA to the tune of almost 70% of the population. So the question that we get asked very often is, will AI take our jobs? But I think more importantly, as transformation leaders in our respective organizations, the question that we do need to ask is, will AI take our jobs to the next level? Do we have the tools to take our jobs to the next level? And can we provide our workforce the confidence to be able to adopt those tools while ensuring sanctity of data and ensuring the right outcomes for our customers and partners? This is a spotlight on AI. So across Zurich Insurance Group, we have close to 460 use cases, which are in different stages of either practical application or in production. And it ranges across the insurance spectrum, including life insurance and commercial insurance. We've had multiple use cases in the field of pricing, underwriting models, fraud detection, claims payment, customer engagement, and so on. We have established an AI lab through a joint initiative with ETH Zurich and the University of St. Gallen. And we've also highlighted certain initiatives like our usage of aerial imagery, which has transformed the property underwriting business in the US. This is with a collaboration with Nearmap, and it has actively helped us support better risk selection. It has helped us shorten the quote timings and has ensured that we can tailor our pricing, especially in locations with wind and hail exposures. We've also used the Zurich Voice IQ for driving customer loyalty and engagement. It is basically powered by Gen AI, and it helps us build stronger customer relationships. We are able to offer customers highly personalized retention solutions, and as a tangible input in one of the business units, the retention rates have increased by almost 20%. So this is a classic example of employing a technology, innovating, finding the right use case, and driving the business outcome while ensuring the customers are benefited by the use of that innovation within the regulatory safeguards. The challenge that we have as technology leaders is the alignment of technology governance and workforce readiness for being able to scale AI with confidence. Like I mentioned, we are a 154-year-old insurance company, and we've embraced emerging technologies like artificial intelligence to be able to remain relevant and to be able to be present where our consumers need us. We have an AI 360 strategy, which has 3 core priorities: AI for everyone, which empowers colleagues to be able to work confidently with AI across the group. So all of us, all 60,000 employees within the Zurich Group, have access to Zurich Chat, which is run on Zurich's controlled cloud environment. It helps us with our day-to-day tasks, with summarizing reports, calls, drafting mails. We also take a look at use cases where AI can be helpful. AI is at our core, so we try and embed it into key insurance processes like underwriting and claims. And we are also ensuring we use AI for the future, and that explores new business models and innovation opportunities. The nuance here is every insurance company is different. In fact, every business unit within the same insurance company is also drastically different. And the tools that you employ would need to ensure compliance with the local regulatory guidelines as well as the region specific nuances. To give you an example, in the Middle East, Zurich has a policy where uh, we say, come as you are. We encourage consumers to come as they are, even with pre existing medical conditions, which include the likes of cancer, diabetes, hypertension, lipid disorders. And the idea very much is to ensure inclusivity in terms of insurance for every single person. This may not be the case with other insurance companies. So while deploying AI for use cases such as this, the training needs to be done very differently. The validations need to be curated for that particular business. And there is a particular need to ensure that the biases or hallucinations do not creep in at any point of time. And you have a human in the loop of every key decision cycle. But the idea always is to ensure the customer outcome is protected, and we do it with the right use of technology at all times. We use the responsible AI framework as part of our data and responsible AI commitment, and it is underpinned by the STAR framework, which is safety, transparency, accountability, and reliability. We have safeguards to ensure that our systems remain secure, compliant, and transparent. So we are definitely believers in employing AI as a force for good. Uh, we don't think organizations have the luxury of sitting on the sidelines anymore, but running after every shiny new object would only create disillusionment and probably stretch the resources too thin. So the idea is to take a look at the right use cases, refine them, and then deploy technologies like AI and drive the right business outcomes. I hope you enjoyed this as much as I did. Thank you all very much for your time.